Hello, friends. If you have already reached state pension age here in the UK, if you are 66 or older and collecting your state pension, this video is specifically for you. Before anything else, we need to clear up something causing real confusion. You may have seen content using phrases like born before 1966 or pensioners aged 60 plus. Here is the plain answer. Every benefit we cover today requires you to have already reached state pension age, currently 66 in England, Scotland, and Wales, rising towards 67 between 2026 and 2028. If you have turned 66 and are collecting your state pension, you are in exactly the right place. If you have not yet reached that threshold, this video tells you what to prepare for when you do. We are going through 5 specific DWP benefits. Using the official rates confirmed by the Department for Work and Pensions for 2026 to 2027, one of them is the most widely missed benefit in the entire UK retirement system. We are getting to it last. Because once you understand it, it connects to more than you might expect. Quick context before we begin. This video is made for people in the UK who have reached state pension age and want to understand their full entitlement. Everything here comes from publicly available official information, the Department for Work and Pensions, the UK government's official website, and citizens' advice. And I will name each source as we go. This is educational content only. It is not personalized financial, tax, or legal advice. And nothing here is a promise that you will receive any specific amount of money. Everyone's situation is different. Before any major decision, speak to a qualified professional or contact Citizens Advice for guidance specific to your own circumstances. Now let us get into it. Benefit number 5. This one is not a payment you claim, it is a record you check. And for many people over 66, it is the reason their state pension is lower than it should be. The full new state pension in 2026 to 2027 is £241.30 a week, confirmed by the Department for Work and Pensions. To receive the full amount, you need 35 qualifying years of national insurance contributions. Every year below that reduces the payment proportionally permanently, with every future triple lock increase applied to that lower base. You can check your full national insurance record through your personal tax account on the UK government's official website. It shows every qualifying year and every gap going back to your 16th birthday. If you have gaps in the last 6 tax years, voluntary Class 3 contributions let you fill them. In 2026 to 2027, that costs approximately £957 per year. And each qualifying year you fill adds roughly £358 to your annual state pension for life, meaning the investment typically pays back within 3 years. Pause this and write those numbers down. £957 in, £358 back every year. One important change from April 2026. If you've been making voluntary Class 2 national insurance contributions from abroad, those arrangements have changed. HMRC is issuing letters this year explaining the new position. If you receive one, do not ignore it. The Future Pension Centre, reachable through the UK government's official website, can confirm whether filling any gaps would actually increase your payment before you commit to anything. Benefit number 3. This one is run not by the DWP, but by your local council, which is precisely why millions of qualifying pensioners pay their full council tax bill every year without ever checking whether they are entitled to pay far less, or nothing at all. If you receive the guarantee credit part of pension credit, Citizens Advice confirms you will almost certainly qualify for a full council tax reduction. Your bill goes to zero. If you do not receive pension credit but have a low income and savings below £16,000, a partial reduction is very likely available. Fewer than 1 in 4 eligible pensioners claims this. Your local council sends the bill and waits. They do not check your entitlement or tell you to apply Search your local council name and council tax reduction on the UK government's official website. And ask specifically that backdating be applied. Most councils allow 3 months. The income thresholds to check against £238 a week if you are single, £363.25 a week if you are a couple. Those are the pension credit guarantee credit figures for 2026 to 2027 from the UK government's official website. Pause and check your own weekly income against those numbers. Benefit number 1. This is the gateway, and it connects everything else. Pension credit tops up your weekly income to a guaranteed minimum, £238 a week for a single pensioner, £363.25 for a couple, confirmed by the UK government's official website for 2026 to 2027. Here is what most people get wrong. They assume owning their home disqualifies them. It does not. They assume savings above a certain level cut off eligibility entirely. They do not. The first £10,000 in savings is ignored completely. According to the Department for Work and Pensions, approximately 850,000 people who qualify are currently receiving none of it. Pension credit can be backdated by up to 3 months from the date you apply. Every month you delay is a month of potential backdated payments that cannot be recovered. Apply through the UK government's official website. And here is something several other videos are currently getting wrong since 2025 to 2026. The winter fuel payment is no longer limited to pension credit recipients. It is now paid automatically to everyone who has reached state pension age £200 if you are in your mid-60s to late 70s, £300 if you are 80 or older, provided your total income is below £35,000 a year. Per the official guidance on the UK government's website, pension credit is not a requirement for the winter fuel payment anymore. Pension credit remains enormously valuable as a gateway to council tax reduction, cold weather payments, and free TV licenses for those 75 and over. But it is not what triggers the winter fuel payment in 2026. And we wanted to say that plainly. Benefit number 4. This is the one that requires a step that feels completely counterintuitive. If you are caring for someone at home for 35 or more hours a week, and the person you care for receives a qualifying disability benefit, you may be eligible for carer's allowance. The 2026 to 2027 rate, confirmed by the Department for Work and Pension, is £86.45 a week. Here is the complication. If your state pension is higher than £86.45, which for most people on the full new state pension it is, the DWP will not pay carer's allowance on top of it. You will receive a refusal letter. Most people close the file at that point. That is the mistake. That refusal letter confirms something called underlying entitlement, a legal recognition that you meet every qualifying condition for carer's allowance, except that the overlapping benefit rule prevents cash payment, and that underlying entitlement unlocks the carer addition to your pension credit. In 2026 to 2027, the carer addition is £48.15 a week, approximately £2,500 a year. Confirmed by the Department for Work and Pensions. People who never apply because they assume there is no point never receive the letter that makes this possible. Apply through the UK government's official website. The refusal is not a dead end. For many carers, it is where the support actually starts. Before the final benefit, here is an illustrative composite story names and details created to make these rules concrete, reflecting situations that citizens' advice advisors describe regularly. Dorothy is 71, a former school dinner lady from Coventry, living alone with arthritis in both knees and deteriorating eyesight. A neighbor told her years ago that owning her home would disqualify her from extra DWP support. She believed that and never applied for anything. Eventually, a family friend encouraged her to contact Citizens Advice. The advisor explained that attendance allowance is not means-tested. It takes no account of savings, income, or property. The question it asks is simply whether a health condition means you need help or supervision. Dorothy qualified for the higher rate, £114 and 60 pence a week, close to £6,000 a year, completely tax-free. The same advisor found that the attendance allowance award raised the pension credit threshold so that Dorothy now qualified for pension credit she had not before, which in turn unlocked a full council tax reduction. One application, 3 connected entitlements. The neighbor was not trying to mislead Dorothy. Neither of them knew the rules. Benefit number 2, the most widely missed benefit in this entire list. Attendance allowance is a tax-free, non-means-tested weekly payment from the Department for Work and Pensions. For anyone who has reached state pension age and has a physical or mental health condition, meaning they need help with personal care or supervision, the DWP does not look at your income, savings, or whether you own your home. According to Citizens Advice, those 3 things are entirely irrelevant. The 2026 to 2027 rates, confirmed by the Department for Work and Pensions, £76.70 a week at the lower rate. For those needing help either during the day or at night, £114.60 a week at the higher rate. For those needing help both day and night, or who are terminally ill, the higher rate works out at approximately £5,959 a year, completely tax-free. Pause and write those down. £76.70, lower. £114.60, higher. The conditions that qualify are wider than most people realize: severe arthritis, serious vision or hearing problems, Parkinson's, heart failure, early-stage dementia, type 2 diabetes with complications. The DWP assesses not the name of your diagnosis, but how your condition affects your daily life. You do not need to already have a carer. The test is whether you need the help. One important point on attendance allowance and personal independence payment: if you were awarded PIP before reaching state pension age, your award continues and you do not switch to attendance allowance. But if you are now past state pension age and have never held a successful PIP claim, attendance allowance is the right benefit for you. A new PIP claim cannot be made after state pension age. Attendance allowance is backdated only to the date your form arrives at the Department for Work and Pensions. Every week you delay is a week that cannot be recovered. Here is the connection that makes the order matter. Receiving attendance allowance raises the amount the government considers you need to live on, which means some people who were just above the pension credit line find they now qualify once the attendance allowance is in payment. That is the cascade: attendance allowance first, then a fresh check of pension credit eligibility. Then council tax reduction follows. The carer addition sits on top of pension credit for those with underlying entitlement. And the winter fuel payment arrives automatically for every qualifying pensioner with income below £35,000 a year. No separate application needed. 3 actions to take. Go to the UK government's official website and search "Check your state pension age." That is your starting point for knowing which of these 5 you can apply for right now. 2. Use the pension credit calculator on the UK government's official website free. About 5 minutes. And it tells you whether you qualify based on your actual income and savings. If you are close to the threshold, run it again after any attendance allowance award comes through, because your result may change. 1. If anything here leaves you uncertain about your specific situation, contact Citizens Advice before you apply. They provide free, independent benefit checks and help with applications, including attendance allowance. And the next video on this channel covers exactly how to fill in that application correctly. Specifically the section on daily care needs, where most people answer too briefly and end up at the wrong rate or receive a rejection. If someone you know is over 66 and has never looked into any of this, an older relative, a friend living alone on a single pension, please share this video with them. The most common reason these benefits go unclaimed is simply that no one explained they existed. The next video is the attendance allowance form, step by step. See you there.